We will get ever closer to the end of the season today, the penultimate episode of the regular season here in League 2. No, not League 2, here in League 1. Hopefully never League 2, because we're in the playoffs to potentially get up to the Championship. Derby have won their match day 35, so as you can quite clearly see, the gaps above us are probably a little bit too much to overturn. That said, the gaps below us, with regards to the outside the playoff positions spots, are about the same. So if we feel like we can't really overturn the gaps above us, then we shouldn't really be worried about below us. And equally, if we're slightly worried about what's below us, then we should be just as confident as potentially being able to get into the top two again. Although Bolton and Derby don't look like they're going to slip up, do they? We did beat Derby yesterday, but I don't know as that gap is going to overturn itself. We've got another playoff chasing side or two in today's episode as well. Peterborough United, the last game of the day. Hoping to do well against them. We'll play Bristol Rovers, play Lincoln City, Sim Carlisle and Exeter, who are both down the bottom end of the table and languishing near the relegation zone, and then it will be the away day of all away days before we head into the season finale tomorrow. But the first thing that I want to ask you today is getting the votes in for your award season. I need your feedback, please, so I can get the video made ahead of time so that we have an award season for you. So I will decide the player of the year and the young player of the year based on personal feelings towards who's played well for me and the in-game average ratings. Fans player of the year, you guys will vote on. Who do you feel is the most improved player of the year? Who do you feel is the signing of the season? Of course, we've had the loanees come in, and we have only purchased Zach Jules, who unfortunately as of it you haven't yet seen on the field. And the goal of the season competition I will make its own video for as an extra bonus upload. So keep your eyes peeled for that, but please let me know, by all means have your own say as well on player of the year and young player of the year. Please let me know your fans player of the year, who you feel is most improved, and who you feel is signing of the season. And then we'll have a bona fide award season ceremony at the end of the season. Whether that be after tomorrow's episode or after some playoffs, we shall wait and see. But for now, we're going to concentrate solely on what's at hand. And what is at hand is a trip to Bristol. So join me there. Join me there once you've seen their starting lineup. 4-2-3-1 for them. Giovanni Brown up top, former Cambridge United player. Scott Sinclair on the right-hand side, former Swansea player, of course, and the link with Gary Monk. Oh, great pace by Gordon. In down the line. Numerous players to aim for in the middle. Finds actually the man on the edge of the box who I didn't anticipate him going to. And Stevens makes the save. Corner for Bristol Rovers here, away from home. Memorial Stadium is rocking under the weight of all the expectation of the home fans here as they've started the brighter, and Scott Sinclair misses the target though. They might have started the brighter, but they haven't taken the lead. Oh, it's poor. Gassan's touch. Oh, if he'd have gotten that under control, we were absolutely in and through, and they're getting very lucky here, Bristol Rovers, with the way their mistakes keep going unpunished. Keeps rebounding back to them. Giovanni Brown will look to try and thread the needle here, and has done, and Aguilera is in. They've hit the post. Well, they were very lucky, and then they were very unlucky. That was an excellent effort, but from that position, 1v1, he probably should have buried that. Referee's got the run of Danny Andrew, which we will use. Gassan is there in the middle, and not found. Well, let me change play out. It does, but very late. Can Gassan win that? He can. Soleil. It's sat up nicely. That would have been a goal of the season contender for sure if that flies into the back of the net. James Brophy to switch it out wide. And then a flick on to Liam Bennett. I was hoping Soleil would go again, but he couldn't. Might be a run there. There is a run, but I can't find him. It's going to be 0-0 at half-time here. Conte. Great ball. Giovanni Brown. Advantage played. Oh, what a turn. Giovanni Brown with the Trevelyan effort. In the 86th minute, the former Cambridge man doesn't think twice about whether he's going to celebrate or not. He is very much celebrating, as will the entirety of the home end of the ground. Balls. We're going to lose this one. Forward looking for Jiri. Ridden the challenge well and finds Digby, who finds Lancaster, who looks to beat the man and has beaten the man. He's around Gordon. Got options in the middle. He's just, well, locked off the ball there. Ran in a direction opposite to the one that the ball was actually travelling. And that's going to be game. We're going to lose at the Memorial Stadium by a goal to nil. And with that, I think any hopes of automatic promotion have firmly left through the back door. And I am getting to be slightly concerned about those gaps below us. It would be quite the bottle if we throw away a playoff spot. Peterborough have just beaten Derby, so the gap to them remains the same, although that gap is still 8 points at this stage, and they do still have a game in hand. We're now 15 points off Bolton at the top of the table. Jesus. Wickham in 7th on 55 points, 8 behind us, but with 2 games in hand. I am particularly looking over my shoulder now. Lincoln up next is one that we cannot afford to lose given the current run of form and everyone else's upturn in it as well. Just prior to the game against Lincoln then, let's have the first question from the press conference, that being from Wookie Cookie today, and quite apt given that Bristol Rovers game. It says, goals are drying up slightly. Can you put your finger on why that is the case, and is it a massive concern? Prior to that Bristol Rovers game, I would have said, no, it's not a massive concern. But given the nature of how that result came about and the way that we didn't really create anything, we scored 2 against Oxford, 2 against Barnsley, scored 2 against Derby, and scored against Cheltenham as well in the last episode. We haven't not scored since the 1-0 defeat at the beginning of yesterday's episode. We did go on a little bit of a drier run prior to that, but I don't think it's too much of a concern. Hopefully results like the one against Wickham and that one against Bristol Rovers are one-offs, and fingers crossed it's not going to be something that is going to be a major concern come the real crunch end of the season when we've got Bolton and Portsmouth in the final 2 games. But they might well be ginormous fixtures for the future of this football club by the time we get there. Up next then is Lincoln City. Away to Sinshill Bank we go. Montsma at the back has been linked with a move via the transfer window in the comment section, as is TJ Ayoma as well. Conor McGrandle spent some time on loan with Cambridge a couple of seasons ago, but stayed at Lincoln in the end. It might even have been at Charlton at the time. Can't remember off the top of my head. They've drawn their last 4 though. I can't afford a draw. I need a win. On the defensive foot initially, here away from home, which is not what we want to do after that last result. I want to be forward thinking and forward moving and goal scoring in today's game. That said, I have been forced backwards there. Jordan Cousins is available. There's some space for Lancaster. He will go one way then the other, and Faye's in the box. It's a stunning save by the goalkeeper. Fajiri Okunabiri cannot give us an early 1-0 lead. Digby might. Oh, Digby won't. Ullman with a throw. Taylor back. Don't lose it. Well done, Liam Bennett. Up at 69 rated now. Was already our top rated player when we started the save and has grown better than anyone else this season. He's grown by 3 now, and he's not allowed to grow anymore for the rest of the season, as per the rules we set in place for this save. But one thing there wasn't there on this occasion was that word, save. But are we saving our playoff hopes? Jack Lancaster certainly hopes so, and so do I. And Sørensen. House. Oh, Okadina, that's huge. What an interception. From that position, Lincoln have to score. There's just no excuse. They have to. Faye. Oh, note to self, don't trust Fajiri's passing. It's not great. Lovely ball into Erahon. Oh, and the heavy touch as well. Didn't expect that. Was waiting for the pass. Cut back here to House. They're in a similar position again. And Okadina is in the way again. 40 minutes played. Corner Lincoln. Conor McGrandle's to take it. And it's an unbelievable header actually by Ayoma. Really, really good. There was a man on the post who wasn't needed in the end because the keeper came across to get to it and Danny Andrew will clear, but Lincoln are pressing, pushing, desperate to get themselves an equaliser. They're on the outskirts of the top half, trying maybe, if they can put together a run of form, to get to the bottom end of the playoffs by the end of the season. But to do that, they're going to have to really win every single game they've got left as a we, if we want to challenge for the top 2. So it's not going to happen for us, and at the minute it's not happening for them either. It's going to be 1-0 Cambridge United at half-time here, and that is a very welcome scoreline. Faith thought about going, and then has backed right off into the middle. Really like to use Fajiri as part of the build-up, because his passing's just not sensational. Lancaster's there, out to George Thomas. Speaking of not sensational, that first touch was pretty diabolical. That cross is decent, and Fajiri! Oh, please go in. Please go in. Set himself up with a chest control, but the finish was just lacking, unfortunately. What a goal that would have been to make it 2. Right, Liam Bennett, deliver a good ball, please, sir. That is not a 3.5 bar Powards worth of pass, is it really? Brophy played in. We get it back on his left if we can. Then try the swinging cross. And Fajiri's trying it again. Lancaster! Can't score a second. Haven't needed one yet, but if we do end up conceding and we only score 1, we can't say we haven't had the chances to win this game by more. Lancaster, Faye, first time. Blocked well by the defender. Comfortably done. Still, we look to press and find that extra goal. Go on, Bros, get to that. Go on, Bros. Go on, lad. James Brophy, off the post. And the keeper's back to his feet. Unbelievable. This is dangerous. Taylor is quick too. And he's got options in the middle. Oh, no. Flying at the back post. Sørensen with the header. Lincoln City equalise with 10 minutes to go. On the counter from our attack. Our free kick. Just squared. Danny Andrew didn't even know it was there. I see the run from Kachunga. If we can squeeze it through that gap. Something we can't, but Liam Bennett can win it back. And he's got the legs to get in the box here, Liam Bennett. If only they dangled a leg and we could have gone down. Soleil quickly. It's Jordan Cousins. Danny Andrews out wide. Got Gassan in the middle now off the bench. Maybe Gassan can win it for us from the corner. Scored a number of headed goals for us this season, Gassan had, mate. Not even going to get the chance on that occasion, but we will get it back out to Danny Andrew quickly. And back into the middle quickly. And Soleil back into the middle. There's Gassan. Everybody's on the floor and the ball's cleared away. The pressure is on, though, to try and win this game for Cambridge United. However, Lincoln City intercept. Ullman, who's lucky to still be on the pitch after that horrendous challenge to try and pick up the yellow that I'm sure should have been a red. Didn't hit a hand there. Play continues. Looking for the ball down the line. It's Digby that's after it. That's a meaty challenge, to say the least, but it's their ball, and with 2 minutes left to go, I think we're going to have to settle for a point here away from home. We should have scored more than 1 goal in this game, but we haven't. We've wasted our chances, and we are going to pay for that. Might we pay for that? The ultimate price, no. Okadina intercepts, and it will just be 1-1, not 2-1 Lincoln. It's better than the defeat to Bristol Rovers, but it's still not a great result. And continually, we're looking over our shoulders with those playoff spots, or those teams just outside the playoff spots, continually bearing down on us. Remember when I said I was getting a little bit nervous and looking over my shoulder? We've slipped to 5th, with them having a 4-point gap and a game in hand, and we play them next at the end of the episode. We've got a couple of simmers against Carlisle and... my brain died in the meantime. But Wickham with that game in hand as well. If we hadn't lost to them, I'd be a lot more confident. But these are big sims now. They really are. Carlisle with a 5-back. Josh Feller in midfield. Tomasz Holy again in goal for them. Again, they got relegated in real life, but... they beat us here! Oh, God, no! Form is in the bin, lads. Coyote and Kelly... give Carlisle United a 2-1 win at the Abbey. We lose at home. Uh-oh. It's Exeter, isn't it, the next one? Yeah, Exeter. Okay. Nerves are building. Nerves are building. Let's not. Just let's not, shall we? Oh, my God. I'm going to go and update my transfers. Update my balance sheet, and then we will play the next one. We will quickly have the question from Flynn, though, in the comment section saying, we've seen Barden come in on loan and still not featured due to Stevens' great form. Do you think he'll be given a run of games at some point in the remainder of the season? Given the way that the season looks like it's going to end in terms of squeaky bum time, I'm afraid Barden probably isn't going to see many games at all between now and the end of the season. But he was only brought in as a backup cup goalkeeper anyway, so he shouldn't be too surprised at that. And obviously if Stevens picks up an injury at any point, then he will play, but it is not my intention to play Barden between now and the end of the season. Exeter have their 5-2-3 to come up against us here. Another home game. We will press the wrong button. We will take Jordan Cousins out and put Adam May in for this one. That'll be the only change that we make. We bounce back at the Abbey Stadium at home. Yes, we can. Jack Lancaster and Elias Kachunga with the 2 goals in the 8th and 88th. To ensure we are back to winning ways. Just saw that Peterborough drew there as well, which is huge. We have a 6-point gap to them now, although they do have those 2 games in hand, but we play them next. We've a 9-point gap over Charlton, a 10-point gap over Wickham, who have 2 games in hand and can come within 4 points of us should they win them both. Holy moly, it's getting tight and tense at the end of the season now, isn't it? Onwards to the game against our biggest rivals. Before we jump into the derby game against Peterborough, let's have the final question from the comment section. For the pressers, it comes from Jay Jackson. Says, when it comes to the balance in the squad in terms of age, do you think it holds importance to have players like Ryan Bennett and Jordan Cousins who have played at a higher level to allow younger players to settle quicker and increase their impact? I definitely do think it makes a big difference, Jay. Yes. Having those experienced players amongst the squad for the young players to learn from, not just in ability and in talent, but how to hold yourself as a professional footballer, how to conduct yourself on and off the pitch. It's vital, really, for those young players to have those more senior players to look up to. We do have a number of senior players at the club in their 30s or in their late 20s. You can see quite considerably a number of aging players at the club. Harrison Duncan's been at the club since day dot 2011, I think. Harrison joined Cambridge United from Braintree. Michael Morrison started his career at Cambridge, has obviously played a lot of his career at the Championship level and since come back down to Cambridge. In fact, came from Portsmouth mid-season to join Cambridge last year. Ryan Bennett has obviously played in the Premier League as well. Lyle Taylor has scored goals in playoff finals and has experience in the Championship too. Danny Andrew, as an older player that's been around the block, knows his stuff as well. And obviously Elias Kachunga's played in the Premier League with Huddersfield Town as well. And like you say, Jordan Cousins you mentioned too. Even those players that haven't necessarily played at a higher level than League One, but have been around the block in League One and at the level for a long time, can certainly make an impact as well. We're lucky to have a number of very good players at Cambridge United, and it's been quite the change over the past 20 years of me watching the club. God no, more. 25 years of me going home and away with Cambridge United to see the growth of the team, and now to be manager, of course, takes on an extra layer of responsibility. A layer of responsibility that doesn't get much bigger than playing away from home against Peterborough United. They've got Steer in goal still. They've got some tired players in there though, so we might look to take advantage of that. That big win in the last game was ginormous against Exeter, and that hopefully will reinvigorate the squad to push on and end the season strong. Oh, the little back heel picked off. They get lucky. Peterborough, Wakeling, Mason Clark, strike. The pace on that, certainly enough to beat the keeper. Had it been on target, you'd have said that was going to be 1-0 because Stevens was getting nowhere near it. Oof, sorry, Jake. Straight in his face. Not the intent, I assure you. I know it's a derby game, but I'm not going to stoop to the lows of just booting it in an opposition's face. Mason Clark, however, is in the business of booting it into the back of the net. Peterborough 1, Cambridge United 0 in the 5th minute. And that was a very good finish. Setting his sights for the first one that went wide. And on this occasion, first time, no mistake. Devastating finish. Pump that forward towards Gassan. Flick it around the corner. Oh my goodness, what break opportunity this is. Soleil with the legs. Cipriani's trying to close me down. Gonna need the support. Here it is, Gassan. Oh, it was meant for Lancaster. Still, the chance could be there. I can't believe it. The misplaced pass at the vital moment makes the difference. Lovely spin by Jack, though. Oh, and it would have been the equaliser of all equalisers had it flown in the top corner, but it doesn't. It ends up with the travelling fans behind the goal. Lancaster looking to Cousins again. And out to Brophy. James Brophy in the box. Gassan. Gassan. No. No. Peterborough putting the brakes on our attempts to find an equaliser in this first half. We go in at half-time, 1-0 down. Try and get it away if we can. Lancaster turns nicely forward to Gassan. Tackled, though, before he can get to it somehow. Gassan. Solid challenge from Okadina. And again, Brophy looks for Lancaster. Rose could go again. Will go again. Always goes again, James Brophy. Delivers the cross. We'll take the corner. We'll take the free kick for handball, as it so happens. Please. Gassan at the back post. Gassan at the back post. Digby in the middle. Steer, the keeper gets to it. Win that. Well up, Digger. Great header. Fajiri's touch is not great, but he's burst into the box. Oh, what a save. Can Gassan get there ahead of the keeper? No. Steer. Driving his team towards a 1-0 win. He will not give up that clean sheet, no matter what we do. Welenja. Make me the run, Gas. Brophy's there. Oh. Ball is not. The ball is not. We don't have that striker that's both good in the finish and good in the pass. We need a League One Harry Kane. We don't have one at the moment. And we lose away from home to them. Gutting. The most galling defeat of the entire league season so far. Barnsley beat Portsmouth, so at least one of our playoff rivals drops points as well. Barnsley up in third now. Pompey in fourth. Ourselves in fifth. And the gap to Charlton is 9 points. I think, despite our current run of form, we might just keep ourselves in the playoffs. But it's going to be difficult to get out of the playoffs and to the championship, isn't it? Bolton, with 7 games to play, have themselves an 8-point lead at the top and 10 points to gap to the playoffs. So Bolton definitely going up by the looks of things. We've got big games in the next episode. It will be the season finale, regular season finale at least, tomorrow. Stevenage, Northampton, Fleetwood, Bolton and Portsmouth. Some giant fixtures. And our season hangs in the balance. More so than ever. The form has not been bad. It's just not been as strong as it was at the beginning of the season. But there are reasons for that, as you well know. Marcus in live chat has just said, no way you fumble 9 points. Join me tomorrow to watch me fumble 9 points. I'll see you later.